is the Executive Director of the Bureau of Standards of Jamaica. Good afternoon and welcome to Radio Jamaica. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kenneth. It's a pleasure to be on Fame 95 today.
It's Radio Jamaica.
Oh, it's Radio Jamaica.
Yes.
All right,
There are family members.
family member.
Yes.
I see what you mean. It's a pleasure to be here at Expo Jamaica 2025. It's a fantastic atmosphere. If you haven't come yet, encourage you to come down.
I would like you to repeat that. If they haven't come or if they had no plans, you will invite them to come on down.
Absolutely, they would be delighted in what they see. It's a
Yes.
fantastic show.
All right. Speaking of the Bureau of Standards, what role does the Bureau of Standards play?
Well, as our name suggests, we are the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, and we are the government agency that is primarily tasked with the creation and the promulgation of standards that help to facilitate international trade. You know, if we think of international trade as a large engine, then standards would be like the lubricating oil that allow the different moving parts to move smoothly and efficiently. At the Bureau of Standards, we have a catalog of over 7,000 standards. About 900 of those are used on a regular basis. Last year alone, we created about 53 standards that are designed to ensure that Jamaica goods and services can go anywhere in the world easily.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so in terms of meeting the standards, what are the key test services that the BSJ provide to ensure that the quality of products coming out of Jamaica meets the international standard?
At the BSJ, we boast one of the largest array of testing labs, not just here in Jamaica, but in the entire English-speaking Caribbean. So we have 10 testing labs that are accredited to the ISO 17025 standard that is internationally recognized for accuracy and competence. In that set, we have our microbiology lab, and that lab tests for microorganisms that are pathogenic in nature, that is, for microorganisms that may cause you to get sick. We're talking like Salmonella, E. coli, Campylobacter, just to mention a few.
Yes.
Then we also have our chemistry lab that tests for elemental analytes. And also we do other types of tests, for example, for foods, nutritional analysis, heavy metal testing down to the part per billion level, and so forth. And then we have our packaging lab that tests the integrity of our packaging material, especially of products. So we do can seam analysis. Jamaican Ackies, for example, in 2023, that was a $21 million trade that we did with the US. And so the cans that those Ackies are shipped in, we test that to make sure the cans are sound and that they're what we call hermetically sealed and safe for the consuming public. And over on the M&T side, metrology and testing, we do calibration of instruments or scales or gauges, measuring and testing equipment to make sure that they're reading accurately and can produce the goods and services to international standards.
All right, wonderful. Now, you know, the BSJ, from your description, plays an integral role in making sure businesses meet international standards. I mean, in terms of small businesses, because one would probably think that you are more involved with large enterprises, but where small businesses are concerned, what's your role there and how do you help them to meet required standards to, you know, go on the international market?
MSMEs, as we like to refer to them as, are the engines of growth for any economy. I mean, in Jamaica, for example, they account for about 55% of all the persons who are employed and upwards of 90% of the tax-paying public. So they're a very important sector of the economy. So in 2022, we designed what we call the Client Services Program to cater for the needs of these small and emerging entrepreneurial businesses. And we have been enrolling them, so to speak, to help them to understand international trade, use standards, and expand. One example of how we have helped a small company, there's a company that is exhibiting here today. It's called Dulce Spices. about a year and a half ago, they wanted to export into the United States their spices and their flours made from indigenous Jamaican material. We're talking about like cassava flour and breadfruit flour. So they came to us, we showed them what is required, we shared the standards, we trained them, and I'm happy to say that they are not only exporting to the US, but they are looking at other markets. And they're right here today displaying at Expo Jamaica 2025. So please come down and maybe sample some of their products.
All right, wonderful. Now, with the theme expanding exports and strengthening consumer confidence, how does ESJ's work align with the national economic growth?
The Jamaican government has been pushing um, standards, it has been pushing uh, expansion of trade and especially exports. The BSJ is a part of the Industry, Investment and Commerce, a part of the ministry headed by our Minister, Senator, the Honorable Albin Hill. And we call him the export evangelizer. Now, because of the work that we do, we have been facilitating more and more companies to qualify their products for export. And we ourselves are leading by example. So not only do we provide services just for Jamaican companies, but we have been actively working in the region, expanding our testing services, our training services, and especially the services that we offer to certify companies to one of these international standards. Currently, we operate out of 5 regional countries. So we're in Guyana, we are in Trinidad and Tobago, we are in Belize, we are in St. Kitts and Nevis, and also out of Jamaica. And this year, our aim is to expand into at least another 5 countries as we build this out so that we can earn more foreign exchange and we can make Jamaica more a very prosperous country.
All right, finally, Dr. Gooden, with the recent upheaval in, um, in the world in terms of trading and all of that, how important now is the role of the BSJ as we look to, or the suggestion is that we look to new markets to go into, because the traditional market has, it has been upended somewhat. So how important now is the role of the BSJ?
It is even more important than ever, Kenneth, because every country has its own set of requirements or standards that you have to meet. It is at the Bureau of Standards that we explain to you what are the unique requirements for every single country. What are the labeling requirements? One of the requirements of labeling, for example, that the label has to bear the language of the country that you're exporting to. That is whether French, Spanish, or anything else. And there are certain requirements that you have to meet. So if you're thinking of exporting your products into a new country, then please make sure that you visit with the BSJ and we're able to guide you to make sure that your products can travel and you can expand your business and grow.
Speaking of visiting the BSJ, how can we visit? I mean, how can we get access to BSJ?
You can visit us, you can walk in we're at 6 Winchester Road. Um, you can visit our webpage, is www.bsj.org.jamaica.com. We're also at info@bsj.org.jm. So to anyone and all our social media pages as well, you can engage with us.
Wonderful. Dr. Woodman, thank you for speaking with us. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It was very informative. And
Yes.
I know all the businesses are listening and they're saying, well, all right, we got to meet with you and make sure that everything is up to standard.
Absolutely. And just one final plug. So please come over to Expo Jamaica 2025. We are in the national arena. We're upstairs in the mezzanine. And we have a team of people just ready to talk to you and to get you ready to expand your business and grow export. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure talking with you today.
All right, thank you. That's Dr. Velton Gooden. He's the executive